Hello and welcome to Jamie's Motion Graphic, episode 24. Today we are doing a folding animation, and this animation is quite hard to get right. The technique behind it is pretty easy to understand. The problem is the timing is so important. So I'm showing you three animations here, two of which are not that great. Only the last one I think is actually possible as an animation. I will be working more on it, and I will make in the future an advanced tutorial which explains to you how you can use this effect to make an attractive animation, because the timing is so crucial that, well, if you don't do it right, it will just look terrible. And well, that's just the way it is sometimes with these techniques. You have to do more than just apply a simple technique and then have a good, well, result. Making an animation is a little bit more than just slapping on some kind of effect sometimes. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, here we are in After Effects. As I said before, we are going to do only the principle. This one's going to be called no, it's the entire result, so whatever. Triangles, that would be good. This is going to be our main setup. Once we're done here, we're going to use this whole setup in a timing, well, with timings to actually make the animation. But we'll see that later. Anyway, this is just going to be about making the triangle, which is not that difficult. You just pick up the polygon tool and you scroll with your mouse wheel down, in this case, until you have only 3 remaining. Then that's your triangle. Yeah, you don't have to do anything yet to warrant anything. If you hold shift, then you have 0 rotation, so you don't have to address it later, but you can of course just set this to 0. It's the same thing. I'm going to set it to 68. I'll show you why. I want to make the letter F, just like I did in the promo. I'm not going to make the entire letter F probably. Oh, that's not the right one. This is the right one. And we're going to position it on screen, and I will show you why I picked 68. And yeah, that's not a coincidence that I overlap there. This value, so 68 in my case, has two things. First of all, it covers this part entirely, as you can see, from top to bottom. It just completely covers it. If you let a little bit here, so if you make it smaller and you have a little bit here up top that's not covered, that will look horrible. And then 68 is always also the right number to yeah, just lock the F already. To do this, so if I'm starting at the bottom and I make another one and I go up and I go up, so this one would normally be upside down, but here, then it will exactly fit over this line in the F. I don't know if you can see that, but if I go to the right, then it will cover it. So it's only very small amount, but that's good enough. And yeah, this one even has to go like this, so it's an even smaller amount. But yeah, we can smuggle a little bit. But yeah, this is the right size for me. And then if we go up and up, then this one will actually cover the top part exactly. And as you will see, it is exactly. So yeah, if you're not confident enough that this will cover it, then just make it 69 or 70. But yeah, I know 68 can work because I already made this. I know, right? It's incredible. So yeah, I'm remaking this tutorial because the first one was not very clear and I didn't like it. So even though I spent quite a lot of time on it, I'm just going to remake it. So what we're going to do here is ignore the F completely, except that we have to cover it. We're just going to set up our triangle. So the F is going to be removed and then it's going to be added in our next composition because that is our animation. This is just our pre-work, as we, well, can see it. Anyway, we're going to line up this anchor point exactly with the bottom part here, as precisely as we can. You can use control to, well, while you're dragging, to make the movement 10 times slower, which makes you more able to actually do what you want to do. So just cover the entire letter here in the bottom, and then here we go. Duplicate the shape layer, Control D. Oh no, we're going to make our animation first. Oh, otherwise I have to do that all on all layers at the same time, and this is just much clearer. Make it a 3D layer. That's one, because the folding animation is a 3D animation, so yeah, there's that. You only get XY rotation for some reason, but just do that again. So hit R for rotation. And we're going to now have all three. Not that you need them, but still. Set the X to 0 at 1.5 seconds. So zoom in, because the animation on one of these things is obviously not very long, because, well, you have a lot of them and they all have to fit into a certain number of seconds. You can make it half a second, you can make it 1 second, it depends on how fast you want it, but the better thing is to make it longer, and then in your final animation just use some time delay or, well, time stretch thingies to make it shorter. Because then otherwise you have to animate all of this if you, well, did it wrong, and you're going to have enough work as it is. I'm going to make an advanced tutorial on how to do these timings right, but that is really for next time. Anyway, we're making this about 90 degrees. It's not actually 90 degrees, it's something like 88. Normally, it depends on where you are on the screen, so it's actually 78.9 this time. You want to make it completely disappear. That's the entire thing. So then once we're up, we're here, and then anyway, we're going to duplicate this now. We're going to set this one, this rotation, to 180, and we're going to link this one, link this one to this one. There you go. So what happens now is, yeah, you can see it already. It's moving with it. It's not very good yet, but we'll get it to work, don't worry. So now the trick is to, well, so first of all, set the orientation to 0, 0, 0, so they actually do what they're supposed to do. And now we're going to make the orientation to 60 degrees. They're always multiples of 60 degrees, because, well, triangles work like that. So just make it 60 degrees in this case, and then just fit it in there. Make sure that the top fits, the bottom fits automatically then, and you can use your arrow keys to maneuver them around if you're having trouble. Leave a little bit of space between it, like not an entire pixel, but like 1/3 of a pixel. We're going to fill that up later, but it makes it more realistic. If you put them without a pixel or part of a pixel in between it, this triangle will be inside of the other triangle, and it will look weird at places. Not everywhere, but at places. So this one is linked to that one, and we're going to duplicate that one to make number 3. Hit the R for rotation and just adjust this to 300, which is -60, because orientation can never go negative or over 360. That's always between 0 and 359.9. Yeah, just try to set it up as well as you can. It doesn't really matter if you're like half a pixel off, but it will be fine. So this one is also linked to the first one, and yeah, you can just, or you're going to have to link all of them individually, because, well, that's how it works. And now you can see how that works. They fold together into one. So this one is now 180. The other one is 180 as well. If I make this one -180, we'll see what happens. The one folds from the front, the other one folds from the back. And this is where those advanced timings come in, and the advanced commands, basically, on how to use each of these. So when do I fold from the front? When do I fold from the back? For now, I'm just going to show you that there is a difference, and that is basically all. So yeah, from here on out, I don't really need to explain anything else. Here, if I make another one, we're going to work over here, by the way. If I make another one, I hit R, I set this to whatever it is, 0 apparently. Then I link this one to the previous one. I set it up over here, because it is linked up to this one, so we need to make sure that this point, so where the axis system is lined up with this one. So you can also line it up with this one, but then you have to link this to the other one. And well, we linked it to this one currently. So if I would link it to the other one, of course that would work as well. That would look like this. So hit R, we have the same thing, same orientation. And we're going to now parent this to not this, but this. And if you want to make sure that you have the right one, just click on it, it will light up, and then you can link this to the one that's lit up. It's as easy as that. But yeah, if you do the entire screen, by the way, you get about 350 layers. I'm just warning you, it's becoming very hard to keep track of, and we're going to do that in the advanced tutorial. Well, not the entire screen with just triangles, but we're going to see how you can make that into an actual animation, because if you do it wrong, it looks terrible. And you can see that in the photograph I had in the intro. So the photograph, the tropical island, that one was done with 300 something layers, and you just, yeah, if you do the timing wrong, it just looks terrible. Anyhow, let's complete this diamond shape here. We're going to make a new layer, rotate, and then we have to choose whether we want to link to this one or to this one. Let's link to the left one, so we can just do it like this. Apparently 240, as I said, always multiples of 60. So it's pretty easy to figure out what the exact rotation should be. And then we're going to link this one to the previous one, which is this. So now you can see that it folds as one. So I didn't address the 180 angles, so you can actually make sure that, for example, this top one has plus 180, and then the rotation will look different. As you can see, it comes in from a different angle now. And yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. The thing is how to make it pretty. And making it pretty comes in with these kind of things. So you have all of these points, and currently everything just moves at the same time. But if I use the timing here and move this over a little bit, then the bottom one will go first, and then the rest will fold out. And if I do even more timing, then I say, well, two of them need to be over here, because those fold out as the second ones. And let's move these ones over like this much. Then we can do these fold out, and then the second and the third layers fold out afterwards. And those kind of things, yeah, that's kind of advanced timing. So the last one is on its own, so it needs to be on its own. It's not the third one that folds out, it's actually the fourth one. And you can do, of course, whatever you want with the timings. You can also make them fold out quicker, so if you're like, okay, but this is taking way too long for this specific layer, just do it like this, and then it folds out a little bit quicker. So this next layer, this, yeah, the one that's up top here, and this one, they will fold out quicker now. And you can see that. But yeah, you can make kind of pretty timings out of that, definitely. But yeah, the technique is very simple. You just make the triangle with the anchor point in the bottom, and then you just set the anchor point to one of these sides. You link it to that, and you just make the thing go from 180 to 0. But yeah, that's fairly simple. And then you can make kind of a nice thing. Anyway, how to make your animation out of this then. So we're going to copy this letter into a new composition. So just Control C and hide it over here. New composition. It is called animation. And I'm pasting my letter in there. The letter is now on the same spot that it was in the previous one, which is kind of helpful. Now we're going to put the triangles in here on top of the F. And if I just play it now, it will look exactly the same as it did before. But we're going to make it track matte, Luma matte triangles in this case. And what that does is this. It will copy make the layer exist wherever the triangles exist. and it will not exist where the triangles don't exist. Currently, this is not a very good animation because, yeah, you can see it's kind of a blob. We want to make a little bit more out of this. So let's take this. These are all 3D layers, so we can actually add a light. I'm just going to make a standard light, and we're going to make it white and everything. And there you go. Now we have shading in there. And shading, of course, makes this animation a whole lot different. Make sure that you don't get these kind of weird effects. It would look weird. It's because the layer is actually poking through the layer that's already up. Things like that. But yeah, you can see how this works now. It just folds out and it becomes like this. So all we need to do is fix the lines that are still in there. And that is very easy. You just select all of your layers, except for the light. Get out of here. You just set your stroke to like 3. And there you go. Done. You can also animate your stroke over time if you're having trouble with artifacts from the stroke, and I will show you one. Here you can see one. So this little bump up here, that's because of the stroke. If I turn off the stroke, let's see, if I set the stroke to 0, we're still at the same keyframe, this will be gone. So yeah, it's an artifact of using stroke. If I make the stroke even bigger, then the artifact will be bigger. So yeah, there you can see it. So yeah, you get artifacts from the stroke, but yeah, that's the way it is. You can get it up over time, which is a good solution. So you basically just say, I'm going to go into my shape. Yeah, it's better to do that in the original one if you want that, but you can do it afterwards. You go to Contents, Polystar, Stroke, and set a keyframe for stroke width. At the beginning it will be 0. So basically you have to time this as well. So it has to time with the other timing. So you set it to 0, and then it will be like in 1.5 seconds or whatever I had. It will be 3. So this is 0. It's so messy today. And at 1:15 it will be 3. And now it comes up over time, and you will have less of these artifacts. For this one you will still have an artifact up top here. There you can see it. A little bit of a bump. But you can of course say, like, okay, I don't want it over here. Well, currently it's before the thing anyway. Oh, this is not, yeah. This is not the animation on the original one. This is the original one. But yeah, you can say, like, let's first make these animation, make the rotation come up, and then once the next layer ends, so once this one fully extends, then I want to have the 3 seconds. So you make the width. I don't know if there's a hotkey for it. If there's a hotkey for it, animating it will be a lot easier. But yeah, you go to stroke and you say the width here is 3, and then up until that point, so up until here, we want it to be 0. So I'm looking at the next layer. So currently when the triangle is on its own, there is no stroke. But once the other one comes up, there is a stroke, and you can see here that that little thing appears. So we can even move it forward in time. Say we're moving it over here, then the stroke will still be 0. And then once this one comes up, this one was faster, right? So once this one is up, then I won't notice that, so I can put this, I can put this one over here, and then since I won't notice it, yeah, here's another one, by the way. But this one falls outside of the letter, so you won't even notice it. But yeah, you can time that so that, yeah, you will first see this little line that's over here. Let me show you. Oh, it's not actually visible here. Is it visible here? Nope. You don't even see it. But yeah, once all of this folds out, then you would have seen it, because all of the layers that were covering up, because all of the layers were still here, they would have left a line. You saw that earlier. And now it's covered because now we have a stroke width. Anyway, that's really all there is to the effect. There's really no mystery, anything. We have a perfect square here. The only thing you still can do once you're done with the animation, so if you do the entire animation, you should pick up the ladder and then duplicate that, put it on top, and make it come in afterwards, because you can see between this and this there's a huge color difference. It's because we're using a light, and the light makes sure that we have shadows, a nice color effect, but you don't want them in your final result. So if you just put this over here and then say I want the transparency to go from 0 to, I don't know, 100. Oh, let's set a point, that would be useful, so that it actually understands what I'm trying to do. And then it would look like this. So just pay attention to this part, I guess. Here, it will come on and it will become much, much brighter. It's just a little tip. So it's just for the finalizing of your animation. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing some work of other people. So if you have something, please put it in the comments and show me what you made out of this. For now, I wish you good luck, and I will see you next time.